Cougs, we got a lot of content to go over. Last week, we were pretty much predicting player a month. Not only that, we got second inning program. There's a lot of content that we just got this last week, and we can't waste any time on this podcast because that's where we're going to go over all about this content and what was best from it. So, Cougs, you ready?
I'm ready, man. Let's do it.
Let's do it. First off, let's get to the player a month. And you know what? It was kind of surprising. Because all the predictions that we went over last week, we went over who we thought might be the lighting. I believe you said it was Vlad. I thought it was Buxton. And then there was possibilities it could be Corbin Burns, even though there's a slight possibility of Ohtani. However, SES was like, screw it. We're just going to give you all of them. They pretty much gave us all of the cards that we were hoping that could be a lighting, maybe except for Acuna, but I didn't see Acuna get in player month because having his high diamond as is, but it was quite surprising to see that we got Buxton, we got Vlad, and then we got Corbin Burns, and then Ohtani on top of that. Yep. Not only that, the Nick Solak card and Justin Turner, those cards are not just like throwaway cards right there. Those cards are pretty damn good.
This is without a doubt one of the best, if not the best player of the month program we've ever gotten, because like not only are the cards good, they're like popular players. Like people love trying to play with Vlad Jr. People love trying to play with Ohtani. Buxton always has a spot in MLB The Show, and Corbin Burns with his pitch mitch. Like everything about this program was a W. The players, the attributes on the players, how the program actually worked. Big W, man. I was stoked when I saw it.
Yeah, and not only that, it was very similar to what we saw from J-Ram and Tatis from last year, giving that little formula that pretty much a preview of what we're going to expect for this year, and it was exactly that. You were able to get the Tops Now choice packs to help you out. If you collected more, as Cougs kind of hinted at last week, it made you stubs. Let's just say that. I got about maybe 150K stubs from just collections of the Tops Now. It helped me out big time to get finish NL and almost finish AL for myself personally. But besides that, all those cards played out good. I mean, even the gold cards weren't that bad, but let's go over Buxton. Buxton was the lightning card. Let's just go straight from the top. We'll go over the other cards real quick, but I want to go over Buxton because there's someone that might have discovered him first. It's just,
I think I heard about that. I don't know how. I wasn't trying to, but somehow I finished the Player of the Month program, and I was the first person in the world to actually finish it and unlock the Byron Buxton card. So I discovered him. Once again, I wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying, like, all I cared about was, I want to get this card so I can get a YouTube video going with him. I didn't care about being in first, but no, yeah, it was wild because I expected it to work at least similar to the way it worked last year for the Tatis and J-Ram or the whoever was the final month. I forgot. Or no, J-Ram. What am I saying? I expected it to work kind of similar to that. I didn't expect it to work exactly the same as that. So I kind of just knew what to do off the rip, knocked out those moments. And then I did a bunch of those missions. Pro tip right here for those offline missions, make a stadium that has the shortest fences you can play at in online play with max altitude. Dude, you'll get those extra base hits with Solak and those home runs with Ohtani. You'll get those done in one game every single time. It's way too easy. So I think that and the fact that I didn't really fail any moments kind of just led to the ultimate convergence of the stars, and I was able to unlock Buxton and discover him. And it's kind of awesome because now I am 1 for 15 with him in ranked season. So really happy about that.
Well, you're a play on legend, so let's just put that there. I mean, still, you're playing at the highest difficulty, but still 1 for 15. Oh boy. Regardless, just looking at the attributes when we first started them, I thought it was solid for what we get for April player month, being 95 card with the 90 power both ways and the speed and defense that he has. But let's go down the list. Who else we got? We got the Corbin Burns, possibility of being one of the best, if not the best pitcher that we have in this game. We got the Otani, well, Vlad Guerrero first, and he has a reverse splits, has the 100 power, I believe, against righties, and then about 70 power against lefties. But still, Vladdy getting a player month card, which is a win. Otani, both, it's only hitting Otani. We didn't get a pitcher Otani. You kind of surprised that he didn't have any pitcher stats or attributes?
Well, he actually does. He has pitching
Oh,
attributes. So, like the way it worked was, he's a primary left fielder,
mhm.
and you can't toggle his attributes or anything because he's not supposed to have pitching attributes. But I think they probably just kind of like took stuff from his live series card or something and made him a pitcher too. Because if you pinch hit with Otani for the pitcher spot, and then you just don't take him out when you get to the bullpen, he has pitching stats and energy. So I have him on my bench.
Oh,
So sometimes if I don't want to use all my bullpen arms, I think the game has to be within a certain amount of runs for the game to let you even do it. But Otani, you can pitch with. He's got the splitter, he's got the slider, he's got the gas on the fastball. He's got it all, and he has energy. You don't even have to warm him up, which is kind of stupid, but they're there. They're hidden, but they're there.
okay, fair enough. And he has the same like motion in the delivery, everything.
Yep, all the same.
Oh wow. Okay, we'll get to another card that we didn't expect to see once we go over the Friday release, and for with a hitter getting a pitcher card, but we'll get in that a little bit. Let's go back to Player Month. We also got the Nick Solak. The Solak card reminded me very much as the Kiki Hernandez card, Ben Zobrist type, just because he could play everywhere. He doesn't have the fielding like those cards had, but he could pretty much play everywhere, I think, except short. I think I could
Yes.
be wrong with that.
Yeah.
So that card looked good. It had a lot of power, which was quite surprising if you do numbers between Nick Solak and Buxton for that month, where Buxton hit for better slugging and power. But anyway, that's how they want to do it. So I'll leave that to there. But we got the Nick Solak card, and then that Justin Turner. That Justin Turner is very. I don't like to use him personally. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the Mets DFA'd him, and then he became Justin Turner. So maybe that's kind of biased to myself, but still, the Justin Turner is another card that you could play immediately in your ranked season lineup, and that's what 5 cards right there, 5 usable cards from the rip. That like, let's say Cougs, you're a new player, just a new player. You got the game that week, and you want to play online play with ranked. You could do it after doing this player month.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you factor in tops now too, because you got to do all the
Exactly.
tops now moments, so you can get Joe Musgrove, Ryan McMahon, Carlos Rodon. You can get some diamonds in the rotation. You can get, even by finishing the program, you get a diamond Matt Barnes. So you have another guy you can throw on the staff right there. And then you got, like you said, you got everybody. You got Vlad for first. You got JT for third. You've got Otani in the outfield. Solak you could put anywhere. If you took Ryan McMahon, you could put him at second. Like there is so many options. And then of course Corbin Burns and Buxton. Like this is one of the best Player of the Month programs we have ever gotten, just in terms of value of the cards. And whenever somebody comes into my stream and says, hey, like what should I start first, I'm usually like, oh, maybe like Team Affinity, or try to get some diamonds that way, learn Showdown. April monthly awards, get going. Like you're wasting time. You should be already starting. Go.
Yeah, exactly. And with addition with power rolls, we'll always bring that up. That's just going to make it even greater. But still, like you said, best player month we ever pretty much have. And I'm loving that they're keeping to that same formula. So now we know what to expect going forward. And I mean, we're already 10 days into May. So, hey, we're about like another 2-3 weeks out for another player month. And that's going to be fun to see. But that was fun. That was a lot of fun for Wednesday. I mean, let's take for a time. Took about what, hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe. It depends how you do with the moments. We're not all lucky like you, Cougs, where we can get done with one shot. But about hour and a half to 2 hours it took. So that's not bad for, like they say, grind 99 type of thing.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty much. This is why Diamond Dynasty always brings up, and why it's always superior to other Ultimate Team modes, by just what you see through what we saw last Wednesday.
Yeah, and I know some people were a little frustrated at first in the fact that they had to do the collection, but it's like you just do. You don't have to buy anything. Like if you did your tops now moments and didn't sell them, like the cards, and then you just do the moments and do the program and do the missions as they're unlocking, like you'll get enough cards to get Buxton. You don't have to go buy anything. So people were freaking out about that. But I think they were. It was more of like a not really fully getting that you could get it all done just by playing. So overall, great stuff. Bravo to SDS, and hey, stick with this quality, and you're gonna make people happy every month.
Yeah, and for April, I thought 95 wasn't bad either. I mean,
I was
that's higher
surprised.
than I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, but we'll see a lot. Like the lines, we'll definitely see. We'll see a lot of Buxton. We'll see a lot of Tani, Corbin Burns. Let me go over if you have any quick reviews about those cards. I assume you use pretty much all of them. We already heard about
yeah.
your Buxton review. But anyone else that you want that points out to you, maybe the Corbin Burns with the sinker cutter combination.
Um, it's crazy that I'm even saying this because I didn't think I would. I like Corbin Burns more than Hershiser. Not sure if I like him more than Tom Glavine yet, but Corbin Burns is filthy. He's so good, and I used him on Legend, and I shut the guy out. Like Corbin Burns is, you need him in your rotation. Like plain and simple, get him. Solak, I think I did okay. I think I got a knock or two with him. Otani, I don't remember if I did anything offensively with Otani, but I know I used him to pitch, and he was fun to pitch with. And I think I did fine with Vlad. Other than that, I don't even know. I didn't even use Matt Barnes, I don't think, and I feel like I'm missing one. I feel like maybe I'm not. I don't know, but
We talk
overall,
about Vlad.
yeah. Vlad, I think I did okay with him.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Definitely not a home run or anything,
Okay.
but I might have gotten a hit or two. Overall, solid cards. I like them all, and at the end of the day, they're free. Just even if you don't like them,
Yeah.
get them.
Yeah, exactly. Because and even if it doesn't look appealing, you never know. You might like someone's swing, like Nick Solak's type of
Yeah.
swing, and then fall in love with that card. So, yeah, it that was a fun day on Wednesday, and then we weren't done throughout that week. We got another drop on Friday, but before that, let's go over. They actually had a stream on that Friday. It was a push the button stream, which we didn't. It wasn't really advertised. It was basically like I saw that Serenity our good friend Serenity posted something like, "Oh, hey guys, there's a set premiere for this for it's a second inning program," and then all of a sudden that was like 20 minutes before it even started, and then all of a sudden we got the stream. But it was good to see that we got a content stream to see the normal. But let's go over the beginning. And this is something that we talked about in the beginning of the stream and the stream before. It was a server talk. And the beginning was basically Ramon introduction. And then he brought in Nick Livingston. Livingston, of course, is part of the dev team. We've seen him in past streams. I loved what they did there by actually using Nick be able to say, hey, we feel your frustration. It's frustrating for us too. We want to get this done. It's our top priority. And it's kind of cool to actually hear it and see it from someone, not through a Twitter account. Yes, that's good too. I love the transparency too, but it's actually cool to see like, hey, we feel it. We're trying to get this done, and we will keep guys updated as soon as possible once we figure this out. I don't know, Cougs, but that made it a little bit better surrounding this situation that we've seen with the servers in the past 2 or 3 weeks since release. But for me, I love that move by SDS right there.
Yeah, I think it was a very solid move. Just get out in front of it. Don't because if they went the whole stream and just like didn't even mention it or something, like people would be probably pretty upset. So they got out in front of it. They said, you know what, we understand, we feel your pain, we're right there with you. We're trying to get this all done. And they said, we think we see the light at the end of the tunnel. Saying that it might not be perfect yet, but we're getting there. Overall, it was just a very, very solid move by SDS and Nick for coming out and doing that. So I'm with you. Very, very good stuff.
Yeah, it was very good. And not only that, they included a thank you bundle pretty much with that after the button stream where you got the 5 packs, you got the 42 choice series and a bunch of 10,000 stubs and a little bit other stuff to go along it, which was nice. Remember, if you haven't redeemed that yet, it's in the store. It's until you got another week. I believe May 17th at noon Pacific. That goes away, but that's free, pretty much free. I love that move by them. We were you were kind of bringing it up last week if we get compensation because of the server issues, and pretty much that was it.
Yeah, no, and I like how they included showdown vouchers too, because
Yes.
for me, a guy like I've already completed all the showdowns, so it's not I'm like whatever. But for a lot of people, the servers were going down at the time that they were fighting that last showdown boss, and showdown can be frustrating. And showdown can be annoying to play sometimes, especially when you have to do that many to complete Team Affinity. So I like the fact that they were like, all right, we'll throw you some free showdown vouchers. So you can, continue working your way to getting all those 42 cards for Jackie. So I thought that was a good move, just to throw in there as well, because it was like 10,000 stubs, 5 packs, 42 series player, diamond equipment, diamond ball player perk. Like they threw a lot in there. So it was really good.
Yeah, it was. So we got that. Remember, until May 17th, you could redeem that if you haven't done it already. And yeah, and then they got into the second inning. They brought in Steven Luis, and we got the first 3 program bosses. I mean, actually, we only got 2 in my eyes. We got Lee Smith and Don Manley. That's about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about anyone else.
Explain. Did they just forget a third one, or what happened, Scuffy?
I don't know. Apparently, this guy only played for 2 teams. He only played for the Pirates and Red Sox. He never played for anyone else.
No, nobody else.
Nobody else. Oh.
Okay.
No, but we got Jason Bay, Lee Smith, and Don Manley. I'm telling you, once I saw Jason Bay, I was like, oh no, oh no. All I'm going to hear is New York Mets legend, and it's true. I was looking up his stats when he was a Mets. If he got a Mets card, it would be borderline like the lowest bronze you could get, or like a common. It was. I'm like, I can't really. I mean, he got paid. He deserved what he got paid because he put up great years in Pittsburgh, and then he had that one great year in Boston. But once he went to the Mets, man, it was just everything went downhill. So that kind of just brought my PSTD in as a Met fan. But anyway, let's go over the cards. At first look, the Jason Bay looked great. This is before gameplay. Lee Smith cards is always great. I like the milestone Lee Smith. And then we got Donnie Baseball. Donnie Baseball, I mean, his card never really intrigued me. And it still doesn't really intrigue me as much unless you're a Yankee fan. Just don't tell Yankee fans that because they'll go come after you. But out of those 3 beforehand, before actually playing, I actually would choose Jason Bay.
Yeah, it was either between Jason Bay or Lee Smith. If I was like, my content purposes aside, if I was just going, who do I want? Who do I think will be the best player for my team? I think it's Lee Smith because, there's already so many good outfielders in this game. Even a guy like, I mean, I would argue a guy like Acuna is actually better than the Jason Bay card because at least Acuna gives you, like that. I don't know if it's 99 but if it's not high 90s arm strength to go along with those amazing hitting stats as well as inside edge. There's a lot of really, really good outfielders in the game, and there are some solid relievers, but Lee Smith is always one of the better ones when you mix in that, the fastball that has like, it gets to triple digits, you get the cutter that has that, horizontal movement, and then you can mix in that forkball, which basically can work as a changeup. I always like Lee Smith in MLB The Show. So, I mean, on that alone, it makes me want to, choose him as the boss. But, yeah, if you said Jason Bay on first glance, you would probably take him before gameplay. Why do you say before gameplay?
Because I was watching your stream here, Cougs. You somehow got him. Let's first off, how the hell did you get him? Well, how they gain these cards so quick?
I don't know.
Like XP glitch I don't know about.
Yeah, I heard it's something with like the Show Nation website. I'm like, dude, how do people even figure this out? It blows my mind. But yeah, somebody was able to get Jason Bay very quickly, and I was like, I mean, dude, I got the stubs. I'll just buy him, debut him, and sell him back. Like, yeah. So, but yeah, he stepped in the box, and it was a little interesting to say the least.
Yeah, just no stride whatsoever. So I was watching and it was just like he was already in his like he planted his feet already. Like there was nothing. It was very weird. I don't know if there were if it's I assume it's a bug and a glitch. But his swing is just weird. It just like there's no stride whatsoever. He's already as you're swinging, it's pretty much he's already planted his feet and then he's moving his I don't know. I can't really explain it. You have to see it yourself.
Yeah, it's weird. And I had, people tell me like, oh, like Jason Bay didn't really have a stride in real life. It's not a glitch. I'm like, okay, well, if he didn't, it's still a bug because it's very unnatural looking. I mean, most of the time, keyword most, like when you, a lot of these batting stances or fielding animations on like the better players in the game look fairly natural. That does not look natural, whether that was intended or not. So they definitely, they got to tweak that somehow because it's weird. I mean, I was able to get a perfect single with him on the first at bat, but after that, dude, my timing was so off. That you kind of like take it for granted how much the stride or the leg kick helps your timing on this game. And when you have none, and you're just kind of going off the pitch itself, it's a weird psychological thing that your timing gets kind of messed up. And I'm sure there's one or two people listening to this that actually kind of like Jason Bay's like no stride. They're like, oh, it kind of helps me out. I'm sure there's one or two people out there. But I think for a majority of people, it's not something that that's going to help them out at the plate.
Yeah, I agree. Now, speaking of Jason Bay, before we go to the other two, well, we kind of went over Lee Smith, but before we go to Don Manley's card, Jason Bay, new legend. Give me it 1 out of 5.
Probably like a 2. Probably like a 2. Like I don't really care that much about Jason Bay, but I will say for this point in the game, his card is pretty good. So on that alone, I'll give him a 2.
Yeah, I agree. His card right now is good. But we don't have to hear my rating.
Yeah, I think we know what your rating is going to be, Scuff.
Yeah, no, it just brings back to it. Like there is one card that I really don't want in this game, and that's the second baseman. I won't say his name of, but I know if he gets in the game, I will be shutting off social media. I will not be streaming. I will be going just silent and let everyone just get their thing in and do whatever they want. Tell me that he's in the game, and you won't hear a thing from me for a couple days. But but he's like right there because I remember being so excited. And it's nothing gets him either. It's just I was so excited I remember being a Met fan like I was excited for him signing. And then coming into that one year, everything just went away. But I don't know if it was the New York media or just something was off. But anyway, but the card itself is pretty solid. If they fix up his swing a little bit, I'll definitely be more intrigued to use him. And hey, I can look at the bright side and use them for my all-time Mets team. Let's just say that.
There is that's the glass half full right there. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. But let's get to the third one, Don Manley. And what was interesting about the Don Manley secondary position at third base.
Yeah, as a lefty, it's weird.
Yeah. I think he was 8 fielding. I think Ochev was saying he was 8 fielding at third base right now.
Yeah, which I also I noticed that too, and I also don't know if that's a bug because I get it. He's a lefty third baseman. That's not the natural position, obviously, but it's still listed as a secondary position. So, I having 8 fielding kind of it's weird. It's like he has the secondary position, but like, what's the point if he only has 8 fielding? Like, I don't know. I get it from both sides, but I'm just wondering if that 8 fielding isn't actually accurate on the player screen.
Yeah, I have no clue. Maybe it's something like, oh, you shouldn't put a lefty there or something like that. Although it's funny because last 2 weeks in my softball games, we faced a lefty third baseman, and they actually made like a play that I don't think a righty third baseman would be able to make because the glove's on the right hand side. But that's a different story. Yeah, Don Manley cards just don't do it for me personally. I never got his swing down either, and he never has that enough pop to use him, especially for a first baseman. I mean, your first baseman, even Keith Fernandez. I'll tell you, I love Keith being a Mets fan, but his card doesn't do it for me either. Because it's very low contact for I mean not low power for a first baseman. For my first baseman, I'm looking for the juice, man. I'm looking for like we see with the poppies, with the Frank Thomases, and other cards that we get. But I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Like you said, there's so many good first basemen, and like having diamond fielding at first base, it's not the biggest deal to me. Like you could have silver and I'm down. Like you got to get some power there, in my opinion, and with the amount of power bats that we have available, even guys who might even be a lower overall, like I'll take that all day over Don Mattingly. So yeah, it's kind of the reality of the situation.
Yeah. Without doubt. So the second inning program we got, it's very similar to the first inning program we'll go through. I love the bat skin to the moon. I thought that was like Adam has to, Sam Adams has to wear that, or that skin for the rest of the year. But
absolutely.
And then they had a couple more uniforms. I believe they had the baby blue Phillies uni. And then we got a couple bronze and silver flashbacks. We got the Chipper Jones silver card back, rookie card that could play short as well. 71 power against righties. Always loved that card. I'll always love that card more than the gold card that we got last year, because we got that silver card from 19. We didn't get it last year because we got that gold card. And I definitely, of course, I'm speaking BR worth. And I love seeing that silver Chipper Jones back. And then we got some bronzes like Hank Aaron bronze, not very usable. There's other cards that we got. I don't remember offhand, unless you do.
We got did you say Griffey?
I didn't say Griffey. No, I forgot about it. We got silver veteran Griffey back. Yes.
Yeah, Griffey. Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean Griffey I will use, but then again, he's more. I still feel like there's better right fielders out there in BR.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have the power against lefties. And that's what I love about Griffey, because he can do like his main card, because he's great against lefties. But however, the attributes are just not there for that card. But you remember that Griffey from, what was that? What year did we have to hit 8 home runs with that, or 10 home runs?
I think that was 18. I think it was 18.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk
dark
about
days.
Yeah. Very dark days. All right. So we got that, and nothing else really spoke out. In second inning, it's very similar to first inning. You finish it, you get the live series diamond choice back, which it looks like you only get 85 to 89, which we found out pretty much after the first inning. I believe it's going to be probably the same thing for that. But yeah, second inning program, just do your XP, get there. Some people already did it, already have it filled because of this XP glitch, whatever going on, which I don't know how to do it, so sorry about that.
Don't even ask, because I don't know.
We got a headliner. I don't even know. We got a headliner that also just kind of hurt for me as a Met fan, and that was the Adam Wainwright closer card, postseason card from 2006. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that for me. Cougs, if you played with it, let me hear it, because it pains me, because that card was generated because of the Mets. But I have used the card though. Yeah, he's good. Yeah. I used him in BR. I would choose him in BR 100%. Sinker, cutter, that curveball.
It's just the way the curveball like keeps going. Yeah. It's one of those curveballs that just never seems to have an end point. It just keeps going. But then again, you just mix in that cutter, the sinker. Like Wayno's good. Wayno's always, even on like, he usually gets like a 95 prime or signature. Even on those cards, when you put him in the rotation, he's good. And this one is very solid for a closer card at this point of the year. So definitely pick him up if you have the stubs. I think he can help your bullpen. And just like that, between 3 days, because we got Wayno on Wednesday and Lee Smith on Friday. Those are two very solid righty bullpen arms that should help bolster that pen for you that dropped within 3 days. And both are, well, I guess not free, because you got to buy Wainwright or pull him from a pack, so I guess that doesn't count. But both are attainable right now.
Yeah, I agree. That Wainwright was. Now, speaking of curveballs, what do you think? Remember last year when we were reviewing 20, we thought curveballs weren't really usable for online play? Do you think they're more usable now, or depends on who it is, like a Wainwright?
I think it's always going to depend on who it is, but I think just the implementation of pinpoint helps that automatically. Like pinpoint makes so many more pitches effective because you can actually like control that it's going to go in the dirt. Like, you know, how many times have you tried to throw a curveball in the dirt and it hangs on the bottom part of the zone instead? And you're like, well, that sucks. But at least with pinpoint, it feels like it actually goes down there. So the fact that you're able to actually put the curveballs where you want this year versus kind of just hoping on the RNG to end up in the right area automatically makes them more effective, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. That should be. I couldn't say any better. So, it's just been so much fun pitching. It really has. I changed up my pitching view finally, and I just been having even more fun by seeing from the hitter side. Because usually I do like outfield, but now I'm doing where you actually see the hitter, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. But yeah, I we got some stuff to look forward to this week. We got a new headliner, second half hero. I have no clue who it'll be. I just don't know. You really don't know. They could pull up pretty much anyone that really had a good second half here. Like great. I don't know. I want
Yeah,
Cespedes, but I think it's too early.
it's so that the card like that is so hard to predict at this point in the year. Like, you know, you get to the
Yeah,
end of the year and you kind of process of elimination, kind of see who you don't have yet. Like right now, dude, it could be anybody. I mean, I
it
hope it's
really
a good
could.
one.
Yeah, I do too. We'll find out tomorrow, and then Friday we got our next roster update. Anyone that you're pulling or just thinking that might go diamond or getting an upgrade?
Uh, I don't know. Too early for me to tell yet. I'm
Too early.
still I'm looking through everything.
I don't
I
know
wish I
if
could.
Stanton does.
Huh?
You think about Stanton?
He could do it. I think he had a didn't he have a colder series against the Nats? I mean,
Yeah,
I know
you
he
got
hit
only
the
one hit.
yeah, he got the walk off the other day, the walk off single or whatever. But I think for the majority of that series, he was a little bit cold. Granted, the series before, I think he was on fire. So I don't know that
Yeah,
maybe I don't know if that Nat series is going to hurt his chances or not.
that is true. I think we might see a lot of more lower tier upgrades, like maybe bronze to silver, silver to gold, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of bronze to silvers are coming. That's what I think. I think they're probably because there's so many good cards that have been doing good, like for bronze worth, but they didn't get the upgrades because they might have been waiting just one more roster update. So that's gonna be interesting to see. Like I think maybe like a Jazz might get upgraded to a silver.
Okay. Okay. I like
That'd
that.
be, I'm not too sure if Dylan Carson's still doing as good he was. I have to look that. I know he got upgrade last time, but still, if he was still on the same path, he could get upgrade. Oh, we'll see. We shall see. I always love looking through the next roster updates to see who the new silver or bronzes are. But we'll talk about that a lot more next week. I think that's going to do it for us. Nice and simple. Go over the content. Very, very fun to grind. Like we said. Now, before we get off, I did want to ask you this question, which we talked about before we started. Give me your top 5 cards that you think that were released last week that you love having in your lineup,
Lineup or full team?
or full team. Yeah, full
Okay.
team.
Um, my favorite card number one from last week is Corbin Burns. Number one,
Okay.
because I think he's one of the best pitchers in the game, so he's number one. Number two, uh, I don't know which one's two. We'll do 2 and 3. Otani and Lee Smith. I like both of those cards a lot. Number 4, I'll go Wainwright, and number 5. Let's go Vladdy. Let's go Vladdy.
Okay. Yeah. Vlad's in my top 5 as well. I think for me, it pains me to hear this. Tell me, one is definitely the Corbin Burns. That's the easy one, like you said. Number 2 is actually that Adam Wainwright. It really is. I fell in love with the card with playing with BR. It hurts me to say that, but I
He's
really
good
loved you.
stuff.
He's really good. I loved using that card, and especially if I could power up that card, I'm gonna be happy with that. Number 3, probably go Lee Smith as well. or I'll go Vladdy. And actually, I do like the Buxton, so 5 would be for Buxton for me. So, but then
Cool.
again, I'm not playing on Legend, so we'll see if I get there, how that card is. But I'm not looking forward to it playing on Legend anytime soon. But yeah, that's going to do it for this week. Next week I'm not going to tease anything because it's not certain yet. But next week could be a big week for the podcast. Let's just say that next week or the week after. And that should be a lot of fun. So be on the lookout for that. But that's going to do us for today's episode, Kooks. I think we'll just have to wait and see. You know, one thing, I just hope we get a new event soon.
I think we're getting it on Friday. I think on Friday we're getting a new event.
I did miss that. I wasn't sure if I did, but then we'll see what the new event is on Friday. But yeah, that's going to do it for us this week in Inside the Show. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Inside the Show PC. Once again, Inside the Show PC. We're also on YouTube. You're watching us right now, or want to come watch us, it's at youtube.com/Inside the Show. Follow my boy Kooks at Kooks46 on Twitter. I'm at Scuff McGee TV. You guys have fun week grinding. If you haven't done Player Month or anything else, come catch up. If not, enjoy another week of MLB The Show. We'll catch you next time on Inside the Show.